Wake that ass up.
Early in the morning.
The Breakfast Club.
Morning, everybody. It's DJ NV, Charlamagne the Guy. We are the Breakfast Club. We got a special guest in the building.
The legend.
Cedric the Entertainer. Welcome, brother.
What's up? Good morning, man. How y'all doing?
We blessed, black, and highly favored. How you feeling, man?
Oh, man, it's been a good day, man. We opened up the book yesterday. It's doing well, so I'm excited, man. Always great to be in the city. There was so much going on, too, last night.
New York Fashion Week, the VMA.
VMA, so much.
It was a lot. I was trying to, you know how you keep trying to go home and everybody call you like, hey, man, just stop through here. And
Come through
like,
here, come through here. Puff, I think, had a birthday party last night.
2:30, yeah.
How many outfits you bring with you, Cedric? Because you stay clean now.
I had to be very specific on this, but I think I brought about 6 outfits. And and then I only wore 4 of them. So I go home with 2 outfits that I could just finish the week out with on some like, oh, I'm still fresh.
6 outfits for how many days though?
3 days.
Damn.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, but you're appearing on TV and stuff, so you don't really know like. All right, I wore that all day, and then if I go out tonight, I don't want people to go like, I saw you this morning. That was the night you got the same shirt on.
Yeah.
Like maybe, but whatever. You know what I mean?
Gotcha.
I don't have to do it like girls really have to change a lot. You know what I mean? But guys, we not really required to like flip our outfits that much. But nowadays it is a fashion world, right? Everybody kind of wants to see what the drip is. Yeah,
they see you all the time.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Well, you got the Flipping Boxcars book out, man, and I love that you flexing different creative muscles, writing fiction novels.
Yeah,
Talk
man.
to us about Flipping Boxcars. What made you want to write a fiction novel?
I was really hearing stories about my grandfather, but he had passed before I was even born. So we'll hear things about our relatives, and then you start to get the lore of the family story, and that's what I did. Like I started to like really fictionalize what his life was like. And so, he was, these were real things, that I heard from my mother and my uncles that, he was a businessman. He was like the de facto mayor of the black side of town, this little small town. And then, but at night he was a bootlegger and a gambler and a hustler, and he always being creative. And so I just kind of put those 2 worlds together to show them being like this loving father and husband. And then he had to go and do what he had to do to make his dreams come true. So he gets caught up in a caper. It's like a crime caper where he's got to like take this bootleg liquor from a train. So that's the boxcar trains, and then he does the dice with the 2 6s as a boxcars too. So that's why he's flipping boxcars.
That's the most important thing about the book, right? The dynamic, because that is the black struggle in a lot of ways. The fact that, I'm a family man, and I'm trying to do all of this for my family, but I got to go out there and get it by any means necessary sometimes. Don't make me a bad person.
That's right. Yeah. I mean, we all, especially black men, we kind of always relegated to that. I mean, even when we think about the people like make it in the music business or whatever, most of them have that other past where they was like street dudes, but we never saw them as that way. Like, we just appreciate that they great artists and they did what they got to do. And so you think about post-World War II, pre-civil rights, black man, that's what I love the story is that he had traveled, he had been in the world, and then you come back to a pre-civil rights America, you just can't be put back in the same box. Once you left, you can't tell me I can't come through the front door, bro. I've been living in France for 6 months. I've been doing this. We've been fighting in the war for the whole country. Tell me I got to go through the back like I don't, So these kind of guys, they had that will to want to be great but being relegated to the racism of the time,
Now, did you write this during the pandemic? Because where do you have time, and when do you have time to write a book?
Yeah, that's when it started for sure. It took like 2 years. We did that started it in late 2019, and then went through all the drafts, and then then you time it out when you want to release it. So.
And what gave you the idea to do it? Because it's like between comedy at the time, writing, acting, and everything that you were doing. When did you say, you know what, it's time for a book? Was it sitting at home doing nothing? Was like, I got something to do.
Yeah, the thing is that like I've been developing TV shows for me. We've been producing a lot of shows. My shows, the Johnson on Bounce. And so I was developing this as a TV idea when I first started. And so when you started thinking about, then we had the opportunity to write a book, and I was like, oh, that'd be so much more fun to have that long form, develop the characters out, not to think about it in episodic ways where you got to, end the episode and then take you to the next. Here, I just introduce you to the characters, let the world live, and then hopefully people love it. Like, even the way I ended, it's got 3 cliffhangers.
It's definitely a cliffhanger.
So it's like, you definitely want people to be like, what happened to the story? So I likened it to Walter Mosley. There's, the Easy Rollins characters, the Devil in the Blue Dress. I love that world, and that's what we, I just kind of try to emulate that feel. That's what it was.
When it comes to storytelling for you, what's the best way to tell a story? Stand-up, movies, TV, or writing fictional novel?
This book was really a great experience. I had never really, done a fictional novel. And, the idea and what it took and the way it turned out, in my opinion, I, loved this book. I love the process. I love telling people, about it. Even when I did the audio book, that's when I really recognized, damn, this book dope. Because I had to, hear it back for the first time myself. And then last night over in Newark, these kids, they took an excerpt and acted it out, on stage. That also brought it to life. That was something very unique. They made a stage play out of an excerpt out the book. So, I think I want to do stuff like that as I'm promoting it, is to get people to understand what the book is really all about. So we ain't got great readers, anymore. People love their audio books, which is dope, I think. But I definitely want to encourage people to go and read this and check it out. It's a cool adventure. Tells a great story. You follow it. The characters are rich. It's interesting.
How was the strike affecting you? Because I'm sure you had plans for this to turn into a movie or a sitcom or something like that. So how was that, with everything going on, affecting you and your mental and because you've been working since you were young.
Yeah, a long time, man. But the strike is just really gotten way longer than what we think, and it got really real for us the other day because they start pulling everybody production deals. So the things that we used to have. That they shut all that down the other day. So it's one thing to not have work, and it's another thing to now not be able to pay your employees. People they just really just shut it all down. And so, and you got people that's been with you working, you love them. You got to figure out their well-being now. So that those things became really real, and I think that I don't know all the issues. I do know that it's not enough transparency on the money side. We don't get to know what these companies make, especially the streamers. And so, the evaluations of how they pay you, who's hot, who's not, is based off their own algorithms that they don't have to share. So that becomes, it becomes a challenge, man, when you're trying to negotiate and somebody can basically tell you what you're worth. You can't even figure out what you're worth. They just tell you what you're worth.
You think Hollywood would ever rebound from all this? Because you got, like you said, actors that gonna have to do something else now because they got to pay their bills, and it hasn't been 10 days. It hasn't been a month. We're looking at a couple of months now, and
6 almost. Yeah, especially for the writers. Yeah, I think that it's a resilient business. We've been through strikes before. But I was saying to somebody I recognize that really entertainment is one of our greatest exports as a country in the United States. That's what we give the world. We don't make nothing no more. We don't do steel and textiles. We sell entertainment, movies, big blockbuster movies. So it's a huge business that's not gonna go away. They just got to figure out again how you share. How you let creatives and people who have IP, they come in with ideas that they bring to the table, and then y'all say, all right, let me give you this one check and then piece you out. And with AI, too, that was the other thing, the idea that I can, take your intellectual property, your idea, your identity. They want to take people's identities and duplicate them in AI and be like, I appreciate you, thank you, move on. That's cold-blooded. Mm-hmm. So, these things had to be resolved, and, I guess they're much harder than they sound. People, feel like, just give it up. But I guess if you was on the other side and you didn't have to pay 9 people to write a script, then you're not going to pay 9 people. Right. You're going to pay 1 and then put that computer on it.
Your situation unique, though, because you can just go back on the road.
Yeah, stand-up is great, too. But, so, I love the opportunity that, I got a live business. So that's dope. That's a part of the, the whole makeup of, you got to keep stand-up alive. A lot of people, when they get big, they stop doing that as a craft. But I love to go out, man. We had a fun tour that we ended in May. Then you get out the way of all the music acts, stand-ups. We don't even try when Beyonce them out there. You they be like, Beyonce about to be on tour. You like, yes, ma'am. All right, cool.
See you in the fall.
Yeah. Taylor, Drake, all the music acts. They tear you up, boy. You like, I ain't going out there with them.
Now the book, right? Flipping Boxcars. What life lessons can somebody learn from rolling dice?
Oh man, now from rolling dice, really it is, I think that the idea of rolling dice is the experiment of looking at what's your chances to actually accomplish what this goal that you want. Right? And it's a stroke of luck, but people love to play those angles, the numbers, the chances, and they bet against themselves, against the others. They bet against the table at times, and sometimes in life, I think we got to make those kind of challenges. It's like writing a novel is something that I've never done before, but as a person that's like a creative, I wasn't gonna like tell myself I couldn't do it, so I tried it, right? And then with the opportunity that it came out successful, then that's. We'll see what the numbers do, but we're doing good, man. We killing it on Amazon and, and wherever you can buy books. Y'all go out and get that today.
Go get that flipping boxcar.
Yeah.
No, I just love, because you start every chapter with something, right? So it's a easy way. It's a rolling 4, 6, 8, or 10 with any combination except for doubles.
Yeah.
So that's basically setting up what you see happen in the chapter.
Yeah, right. You have the idea of what he's doing. We use gambling terms. I got a glossary in there, but we use these gambling terms and then basically kind of set you up. Like you say, that little headliner is like, what's this whole chapter is going to entail, So
what taught you how to gamble?
I'm from that get on the knees in the lunchroom with the wall, like, hitting some older cousins, my cousin Calvin, cousin Mark, my cousin Stan. I think about them, all of them. That was the cousins you went to live with in the hood, and they just, everything was crazy. So fun. And then, but I don't gamble much. Like as I got older, it was like one of those things. I just like to make my money. I don't really take chances with my money like that. I'll gamble with my boys. Like, when they in Vegas and we out there and like just everybody having a good time, that's the only time I do it. But I'm not one to walk past the table and like, yo, let me just drop $1,000 or $2, $5,000 on there. I ain't doing that.
I was going to ask, speaking to your family about your grandfather, do you see traits in yourself that they tell you that was in your grandfather as well?
Yeah, that was one of the big motivations, because you do get that. Like I say, I never had a chance to meet him, but, like wearing the hats and the suits, my mother would tell me, like, well, you remind me of my daddy right now, like, and then, of course, we get that, you might have a laugh or the way you smile or smirk, people will tell you, like, you look just like so-and-so. And so, I'd say that in the acknowledgments, man, that I really encourage people to go back and start talking to their elders and the older people in their family, because you'll find out a lot about your own self, because, like the fact that he was such an entrepreneur and he was a person that really wanted to see himself in a bigger life, but, was, kind of like, submerged by the times. I feel like I got that spirit. I don't know where it came from, but ever since I was a teenager, I never wanted to be like a person that had a job. Like I was like, I got to figure out how to hustle it. I wasn't no street dude, but I still like trying to sell shades to people and sunglasses. Like you find out that hustle. You get the sunglasses on the low at one place, and then you go and try to sell them to the people at the park when they out riding around. Like, yeah, I got these Gucci's. They not really, but they look like it.
Do you feel like or understand your grandfather more?
In a little bit for sure, but it is a fictional tale. So, I only had a few stories. He definitely was, from a generation where he didn't have a lot of friend groups left, so mainly my uncle, my mom had passed in 2015, but before then, a lot of her stories. But, to get, when I started developing this book, it was mainly like close relatives, and they were teenagers and kids when he was doing his thing. So, but my Uncle Mel, he actually, got to the age where he can go and hang with his father. So he'd be at the gambling house in the back, or having to run errands for people. So, he was talking about that scene in Harlem Nights with a knock on the door. He was like, that kind of stuff was my life. I had to come in and knock on the door, and my daddy need this, and mama need that, I'd leave,
I was going to ask with the, with the King of Comedy, such a special tour, right, when it came out, and everybody was so excited. People always ask, who would be the new Kings of Comedy? If you had to name 4 new comedians that you could see, that you love.
Like new or just people that's hot? The thing is, the idea of the Kings of Comedy, these were it was like the guys that was at the top of their game.
At that time.
Right now, that same group probably still of the who we know, like in the kind of ethosphere, Kevin, Chappelle, Rock, me, shit. Man, nah.
Damn right. Damn right. You forever a king of comedy.
Yeah, but
I was talking to Jess Hilarious last night. She was like, man, I want to be there for Cedric, man. He's the king of comedy.
I thought she was going to be here. I love Jess, man. That she's one of these people that, like, again, these new voices that came on and just really dynamic and, got her own lane. So, I was looking forward to her being here.
She wanted to meet you bad. She was like, I never met him. He's a king of comedy. I got to meet Cedric.
Yeah.
Oh wow!
Yeah, no doubt. But it's a lot of I love Deion Cole. Like I think he definitely one of these people popping his like Carlos Miller, DC. It's a lot of cats out here that smoke. Roy Woods Jr. I love Roy Woods. I think people that's been around a long time that still need to get they light. But but comedy is gonna be one of those things too that I think it's so many specials that sometimes they don't feel special no more. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know exactly how that's how we gonna resolve that. And we hear a lot of comedy, not the way like when we came up, Def Jam was so uniquely special. Being on the Apollo was uniquely special, but now you got Netflix and it's just a special. You just flip through there and be like, oh, I didn't even know dude had a special right here. So you find comedy just being so readily available that
it's too regular. It's not an event.
Yeah, exactly.
There's no event going on.
Yeah, that's the thing. But I mean, like that live though, that's still a great place. You know what I'm saying? Like when you go live and you see people that can hit that stage and turn it up, I think that's totally different because when you're shooting a special, you also in your mind try to get too fly. You know what I'm saying? You change your outfit. Because you're thinking about being on TV. You're not really doing it like when you're going up there mobbing in the dojo. You know what I'm saying? So,
do you ever look back?
Chico reminds me of you.
Yeah, that's my guy. Chico Bean, that's my other guy, man. I love
he
him,
reminds me like the way, even y'all mannerisms, the way y'all move, talk, the way y'all dress. Like
yeah. We did a show a couple years ago. And that was the first time I was with him, and I was just realized like, man, all them guys like hella talented. Yeah, that 95 South, they can get down, man. So and Chico, he definitely one of them guys too. Yeah.
I was gonna say, you ever look back at some of the comedy back then and be like, damn, we could never say that now, like. Sometimes I go back listen to old music. I show Charlamagne an old commercial, and I'm like, I can't even believe they played this commercial on air. But you know what I mean? Could you ever look back at that, and are you ever scared doing comedy now?
It was so funny. My partner, right, my manager, we was doing. He hit me with a joke I used to do a long time ago, and it was just like it was the subtle callback to a joke that I was like, "Dog, you can't even tell that joke right now." And I don't never see myself as no person that's like got like politically incorrect jokes where I'm out like literally trying to be rude to people, but. Is the times have changed. Burning Mack. His passing has been like 15 years. We've been dealing with that. We talking about Kings of Comedy, like that whole set. You can't do Milk and Cookies. You can't do Milk and Cookies. Especially the setup to it.
Right.
By the time, like I was like, yo, like that, and that's so brilliant. Like we loved like his delivery and like the kind of earnest honesty in that. But you can't even, man. So that's crazy. It's a slippery slope, because, especially when you're creative, you like trying to just say stuff. Sometimes you just letting it come out, and then, you can actually just very easily be in a pothole and be like, man, I ain't really mean it that way. Then people go on an apology tour or try to act like they didn't. Try to act like, they should be trying to fix it with all that, like you got caught by your girl. Like, I'm just saying, like, for real, though, like, you need to understand, like, what I was saying, I didn't mean.
Oh, they say I'm doing the work.
Way. Yeah, I'm working hard on myself. Yeah, it's just some terms you learn from them classes they sent you to. You got I'm doing the work.
What work? Now, you say you don't gamble, right? So was it a bad experience you had rolling dice back in the day?
Oh, man. You know what? Most of the times it's a bad experience. Like most of the times it's just like, hey, here you go, here's some money. You get to play for a little bit. I had some great roles, but you start playing with gamblers and you recognize like, oh, I can't even keep up. Like, you know what I'm saying? You go in there like, I can't play like that. But it was just one of these things that for me, the odds and put my money on something that felt like I'm just waiting on a whim. You know, I do that on the lottery tickets when it's a bin. That's it. That's my only gym. But I'm gonna do that $20 at a time.
That's right.
And if I hit a billion, then I'm good. But if I don't, then it's $20. But I'm not getting ready to throw $5,000 on the craps table. That's not me, man.
How many names did you have to change to protect the guilty in this book?
Oh man, a lot. I definitely checked. I kept my grandfather and then pretty much and my grandmother's name, but then everybody else I kind of changed. You know, and especially like other relatives that, you know, are in there. I even like changed who they were because I have other relatives in here that are represented, but that's not what their personalities were. I just needed to change and get some texture and make characters feel different. But, even the character that plays his brother-in-law in real life, they was two peas in a pod, and so, but I couldn't make. They would have felt like the same person in the book, so I made him something totally different.
Now, is family gonna be coming to you asking you for money? Like,
of course.
You wrote this about Granddaddy.
Yeah,
you never even met him, Cedric. Where the money?
You know, I mean, it's one of these things that that's funny. It's funny that but it is like it is a family thing. Luckily for me, like my sister was rocking with me the whole time, and she's like that protector of me. Like if anybody come for me, my sister gonna hold it down. She like, nah, scoot back, you know. So, but normally it says, this was a creative process. This was something that me having an idea. It's not about the family per se. It's a story, but it was like this was an opportunity that I had. And so I'll try to take care of people though. Like my uncle who helped me like a lot. I make sure that he get some stuff off this book. My sister, people who like really help me. I think that's it's only fair to make sure that they get, know that they love, get acknowledgments, and not just acknowledged in the book, but, monetarily too.
But you know
Cedric
how to
got to go
no.
too, by the way. He got to go.
Oh, okay.
You got to parents it.
But so this is my last question. You know how to say no because you've been getting money.
Yeah, no,
You've been doing well for a long time.
I definitely know how to say no. Like, I could say nah. Like,
nah.
I'll go past no. Nah. that's when it's emphatic. You like, okay. But let me but nah. But definitely, like it is one of those things where, I used to have a whole fund for the family. It was a very specific number.
Really?
Every year you put it in there. That's what's over there.
How much was it, if you don't mind?
$25,000 every year. Okay. But people can get it, like but they had to deal with my sister. So like you had to figure it out. But
that's smart.
But $25,000, whatever it is, you can go there, you can qualify for it. And not all it was. Well, I mean,
because you late for your car.
It wasn't no. I ain't going for the nonsense. Like I want to go to Beyonce's head. Let me get $900. You're not getting it for that. But you late. You need school money. You got this. You gonna lose the house. You can come in there and get that money. Like some of it, not all of it. Not one person get all of it either.
When did it stop?
I don't even remember, man. But one day, one year, it was just over.
He's like, I ain't doing this no more.
Yeah, one year I was just like, I'm good.
People heard one too many Nas, and they knew not to ask you no more.
Well, I think it started getting to the point where people wanted the bigger checks. Some people just come in and literally felt like the whole 25 was theirs. You get certain relatives that they closer to you, and they just come and they don't even want to be in the group no more. They like, yo, I got my own 25. You do that for them, but pay for my house.
Or they see you growing, they be like, I see you on CBS.
Yeah, boy. Sure, come on.
Let me hold something.
Yeah, you seen them new trucks, right? Yeah, I did. Yeah, man.
Just saying instead, wait for you to offer something. Then you gonna offer something.
That's crazy. They ain't even that much.
Yeah.
They ain't even that much.
But nah.
Put the tires on there and stuff.
My car just broke down too.
Yeah, that's wild.
Kids got to walk to school.
Yeah, that's crazy. That's crazy. I pray for you.
Yeah, no, they gonna work it, man.
Well, Cedric the Entertainer's new book, Flipping Boxcars, is out right now. Make sure you pick it up.
That's
and
right,
we appreciate you for joining us,
Always,
brother.
man. Much love, y'all. I'll holler.
It's Cedric the Entertainer. It's The Breakfast Club. Good morning.
Wake that ass up.
In the morning.
The Breakfast Club.